You know, it's very easy as Christians for us to develop a rhythm and habit of life, and to do our devotionals, to go to church every Sunday, to systematically give of all that we have, to pray, to go through the rhythms and patterns of life in a very perfunctory, a performance-driven sort of way, as by habit and by rote, to recite creeds and to do all those wonderful things that we do, to sing our 3 songs every Sunday, listen to a sermon, punch the clock, and go home. But you know, this past couple of weeks, as we do a study at church on the book of Acts, I can't help but think of the fullness of the Spirit, because as you study the book of Acts, you can't escape the power and the presence of the Holy Spirit in the lives of the early Christians, the early disciples, as the Spirit guided and moved them and empowered them through all stages of life and of ministry. And I think, you know, about our lives and how it's very easy to slip into rhythms and patterns and habits, and just doing things because that's just the thing you do. You know, you go to work every day and you punch the clock and you go home, and you know, just as we treat our job, so we can also treat our faith. But you know, the thing that I believe that God has given us to distinguish our faith from just another performance, from just another thing that we just do every Sunday, or of a devotion we just have and participate in, is ultimately the fullness of the Holy Spirit that God gives to us. And not just as a one-time event, but as something that we're supposed to, as Christians, constantly be filled with, to constantly renew ourselves with God's presence, and to find times of refreshing in our lives, so that we can experience the fullness of the Spirit, to driven wherever the wind that the Spirit may blow us with may lead us, and to keep our faith from being anything but stale and repetitive and performance oriented, so that we are more than just individuals punching our religious clocks and saying our prayers and giving our tithes and all that stuff. As important as a regular, habitual, intentional lifestyle can be when it comes to our faith. But I feel more and more as a Christian who's been at this a while for now, you know, it's so easy to get caught up in the rhythms and the performance and just doing things because it's Sunday, or it's Monday, or it's Tuesday, or it's Wednesday, or whatever day we do our church stuff on, and to do something just because we've always done it that way. You know, it's very easy to slip into this kind of Old Testament religion sort of mindset when it comes to our faith. But, you know, God gave us the Holy Spirit for a reason, so that our faith would be anything but boring. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say that there's not going to be some very ritualistic times when we do things by rote, and just do things because we're being studious individuals who, you know, practice our spiritual disciplines. Those things are important. But, you know, there is a very real sense in which we need to encounter God fresh, and to do so on a regular basis, and to allow His Spirit just to permeate us, so that we don't get stuck in the rut of just doing the same old thing time after time again, but that we would allow new opportunities to spring forth through the power of God's Spirit, to direct us in surprising ways, and ways that are full of joy, and expectation and hope, and times that require uttermost faith in order for us to enter in, not only in our daily lives as we carry out, you know, just the living and dying that we do every day, but in the walking of the ministries that God has given us, so that we can build each other up, so that we can equip the saints, so we can carry out the ministry of Jesus, for which the Holy Spirit was given for us to do as individuals who are participating and continuing the ministry that God established through Christ and wants to perform in this world to this day.